Welcome again to the Old Principal. I am the Old Principal, and we've got another interesting lesson about a very famous person. You may be able to guess who this person is. This will be lesson number 202, The New Boy at Sixers. Sixers 是一个店铺或一个商店。Okay, and the new boy, obviously we're going to tell a story about, do you know who this is? Well, you will find out who he is by the end of this lesson. First of all, let's let Connie read the story to us.
Story 202, The New Boy at Sixers. Zev Roth tells about a boy in South Bronx, New York, in the 1950s. Predominantly Jewish, the Bronx offered everything an Orthodox Jew wanted. Mr. Sixer's store specialized in things for babies. Assisted by his son-in-law, Lou Kirshner, Sixer ran a profitable business. The clientele primarily spoke Yiddish, a Jewish tongue, but Sixers also served many non-Jews. One busy spring day, Mr. Sixer had an unexpected throng of customers. Desperate for help, he ran out to the sidewalk and stopped the first person he saw. "Young man," he panted, "would you like to earn some extra money? I need help in the store." The tall black boy smiled. "Yes, sir, I'd like to work." "Well, then let's get started." The boy followed him, paid attention to Mr. Sixer's directions, and went to work. Mr. Sixer was immediately impressed with the boy's demeanor, his diligence, and willingness to do anything they asked. Colin worked 12 to 15 hours a week at 50 to 75 cents an hour from age 13 until his sophomore year in college. He appreciated steady employment and the friendly atmosphere at Sixer's store. The Jamaican youth learned Yiddish and could communicate well with both his employers and Jewish customers. At 17, Colin went to City College while still working part-time at Sixers. The store offered an important stable factor in his life. After completing the ROTC program, Colin served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. His leadership skills raised him in rank quickly in the United States military. Colin Powell became the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the Pentagon in 1989. 2 years after the Gulf War, Secretary of State Colin Powell visited the Holy Land. When he met Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir in Jerusalem, he greeted him, "Man kennt reden Yiddish? We can speak Yiddish." Shamir was surprised when they continued to chat in Powell's second favorite language.
Oh, welcome back. Here we go. A very interesting story, and it was a new one to me. Zev Roth, that's a person's name, that's not important, tells about a boy in South Bronx, New York in the 1950s. Of course, 1950s, we all know about that. South Bronx is 南布朗克斯纽约. I got the New York, 纽约, I already know that. But Bronx, I can say it in English, it's a part of New York City, okay? And I'll say that again, 布朗克斯 Bronx, 布朗克斯. Maybe if I say it 100 times, I might be able to remember it. Okay, so here we go. It's a predominantly Jewish. This area is predominantly Jewish. 大多数的人是犹太人。Okay? So we've got a predominantly Jewish area in the South Bronx of New York City, New York. Okay? The Bronx offered everything. So Bronx, this part of New York City, offered everything an Orthodox Jew wanted. Okay? So an Orthodox Jew is 正统的犹太人. There are many different kinds of Jewish people, and Orthodox is 正统的, or Orthodox. They do everything according to the rules. They are very careful. You could say 严格. In some cases, they're 严格. Some cases, 非常属灵. It's hard to say, but they are very careful. 正统的犹太人. Okay, and it offered everything a Jewish Orthodox Jew wanted, so they could get everything. They could experience everything. Everything was like in this area, everything that they needed was right there. Okay. Mr. Sixer's store specialized in the things for babies. So Mr. Sixer's store, this is the Sixer's 店, his store specialized in things for babies. 所谓儿童专门卖东西专门出售儿童的东西assisted by his son-in-law, Lou Kirshner. Okay, so his son-in-law is Lou Kirshner. Again, you don't need to know some of these names, but Mr. Sixer is helped, assisted. 有他的助手 is his son-in-law. Okay, 他的女婿. Okay, 女婿. Okay, and they ran a profitable business. Of course, everybody knows that the Jewish people are very clever and they do a very good job of running a profitable business. Okay, so 他的钱蛮高他的滋润是蛮高So he's making money. Okay, they're good at that. Going on. The clientele primarily spoke Yiddish. Okay, clientele, customers, the people who came to buy, 顾客, clientele, the people who came to use this store, primarily spoke Yiddish. Okay, 主要是讲 Yiddish. 这个是一个语言. Okay, what is it called? It's 一都续语. Yiddish. Okay, just keep in mind that that's a special part Hebrew and part some other language. German? I don't know. But anyway, it's Yiddish. A Jewish tongue, 方言. Okay, it's a Jewish tongue or a 方言. Okay, but at Sixers also served many non-Jews. So you have many, predominantly the clientele was Jewish, but it also served many customers who were non-Jewish, non-Jew. 他们不是犹太人. So this is just a store. In America, I mean, a store will serve anyone, whether no matter what your beliefs or religion or lifestyle is, a store is open to anyone. Going on, one busy spring day, Mr. Sixer had an unexpected throng of customers. Okay, now this happens. There are some days when you have a lot of people. It was a spring day, and he had an unexpected, in this case, 没想到的，没有预备好应付的 unexpected throng of customers. What is a throng? A throng is a large group of people. So when it says, you could say many customers, sure, but throng means a large amount of customers. Going on. Desperate for help. Okay? Desperate for help. That was, in this case, he had a big need for help. So big that he didn't know what to do. When you're desperate, it's almost like you don't know what to do. He had that big of a need, 很大很大的一个需要 for help. He needed people to help him. He ran out onto the sidewalk. I mean, you have to be desperate to do that. 他跑到这个行人道. And out there on the sidewalk, what happened? He was looking for someone to work for him. And it says he stopped the first person he saw. 叫头一个人停下来. The very first person that he saw walking there, he said, hey, may I talk with you for a minute? Going on. Young man, so obviously 年轻人, he panted. What do you do when you run? You 喘气. So when you are panting, panting means that you need more air, and so you're breathing faster. 喘气. So he panted out these words, and he's panting. Would you like to earn some extra money? Okay, would you like to earn some extra money? 你想不想要赚一些外快? Okay. In other words, do you want to work and I'll pay you for the work? I need help in the store. Somehow he didn't have enough help in the store, so he ran out there, he panted and said, do you want to earn some money, extra money? 这个外快, okay? Go ahead. A tall black boy, okay? 他是美国非洲来的这个黑人 tall black boy smiled, okay? Yes, sir. Well, I'm not so sure that he came from, says he came from Jamaica, but they originally came from Africa, so maybe the tall black boy smiled. Yes, sir. That sounds good. Very proper. I like to work. I would like to work. 我想要工作. Going on. Then let's get started. The boy followed him and paid attention to Mr. Sixer's directions and went to work. The boy followed him, paid attention to Mr. Sixer's directions. Okay, when you give directions, 人家说明 okay, 或解释要怎么样做 Okay, if you buy something like some medicine and there are directions on the medicine, 你买一些药 directions 是说明 So in this case, Mr. Sixer is telling them what to do. Okay, and the tall black boy went to work. 他就开始工作. Going on. Mr. Sixer was immediately impressed with the boy's demeanor. Mr. Sixer 马上受感动. Okay, with the boy's demeanor. What is demeanor? Demeanor is 一种行为, the way you act. Demeanor. He has a very nice demeanor, meaning the way he acts, what he does. Okay, his diligence, 努力. So he has good habits. He acts very well, good behavior. He is diligent, and he was willing to do anything that was asked. To do anything that was asked. 他们就请他做什么，他都愿意这样做. Going on. Colin, that was his name. Now we're getting closer. We still don't know his last name, but he's a very famous person and still alive, by the way. Colin worked there 12 to 15 hours a week. Every week he worked 12 hours. He worked maybe 15 hours a week. And how much did he get? 50 cents to 75 cents an hour. Now that doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, but 50 cents in those days or 75 cents was a lot of money in 1950. I remember getting 40 cents an hour. 40 cents an hour, not very much. 40 cents, 4毛钱. Okay, 50 to 75 cents an hour from the age of 13 until his sophomore year in college. Sophomore year in college, he would have been maybe 18, 19, maybe 20. So about, I'd say almost 6 or 7 years, he worked there for 7 years. Okay, going on. He appreciated the steady employment. Of course, he appreciated winning the employment. Okay, so that means he didn't have to look for money every day. If he wanted to work, he had work to do. And he enjoyed the friendly atmosphere at Sixer's store. Friendly atmosphere. Okay, 这个气氛. Okay, the atmosphere there was very friendly, 非常友善. Going on. The Jamaican youth, so he's from Jamaican. Okay, 这个牙买加 来的年轻人 he learned this 易读序言 he learned the language, okay, whatever, okay, and he could communicate well with both his employers and his Jewish customers. For all these years, he learned to speak Yiddish. He could communicate well, 他沟通得好啊 with the customers, 顾客, and with his employers, 雇主. Going on. At 17, Colin went to City College while still working part-time at Sixers. So here he is. He's still working part-time, but he is now going to 城市大学. So this is a city college that is very obviously close to where he lives. Going on. The store offered an important stable factor in his life. Okay? The store, that means, because, I mean, you're in a big city. You just think about it. If you're in a big city, there are a lot of temptations, a lot of frustrations, a lot of problems. But here was a stable factor in his life. 他的工作带来一种安定 stable 一种 factor, stable factor in his life. 带来一种安定 Going on. After completing ROTC program, Colin served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. Okay, what is ROTC? I can tell you in English, and then I'll try to give you a translation. Reserved Officers Training Corps. Reserve Officers Training Corps. 后备军官训练团. Got that? Reserved Officers Training Corps. It's okay? You got it. Okay? Now, Colin served 2 tours in Vietnam. 他去越南. Okay? Okay? And so 2次的任期啊 2个任期. So 2 tours. I don't know how long a tour was. 2 years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. But anyway, 2 tours of duty. 他就是在越南打仗的时候做军官, of course. Going on. His leadership skills raised him in rank quickly in the U.S. military. Somehow everybody sensed that he was a good leader, and 他提升 kept going up, becoming more important. Going on. Colin Powell. Now we have his name. Okay, Colin. Okay, let's make sure I get his name right. Okay, Colin Powell. He became what? Let's get his name. Colin Powell. I'm not used to that. Colin Powell became the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That means 美军军队 you have the Marines, you have the Coast Guard, you have the Air Force 空军 Navy 海军 and then just the regular Army. So you have 5, the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So he became the leader of all of this. This is the most important military person in America at the Pentagon. That's in 1989. 1989, he became chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in 1989. Going on, 2 years later, after the Gulf War, 这个海湾打仗的时候 Secretary of State Colin Powell, okay? Secretary of State Colin Powell. So he became the Secretary of State, 国务卿 Secretary of State, a very high position in America. And he visited the 圣地. What's a 圣地? 这个以色列. He visited 以色列. Going on. When he met the Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir in Jerusalem, he greeted him. Whoa, I don't know if I can say that. Men kent read in Yiddish. We can speak Yiddish. We can speak this. And I'm sure he was very surprised. The Prime Minister was very surprised. Going on. Shamir was surprised, and they continued to 交谈 in Powell's second favorite language. Where did he learn that? As a young man working in Sixer's store. And now he's one of the most powerful persons in America. And he's able to use his Yiddish language. Well, that's all we have time for today. Wish we could keep on talking. We do have an email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and we do have a website, www.theoldprinciple.org. Whoa, there was a lot of new words in here. I hope you enjoyed it and that you will join us again for another interesting story. See you then.